Hello and what is up? Happy Friday. Scott Sambucci here, Chief Sales Geek at Sales Qualia, and I'm going to try something new today. I want to do a 3-2-1 weekend. What I want to do is share with you three things that I'm really excited about, two people that I think you need to follow, and I want to give you one tactical sales tip that you can put to work right away, starting this afternoon while you're watching this video, that if you do this for 30 days, I am almost 100% sure confident that it will help you raise your MRR by at least 10K in the next 30 days. That's a pretty big claim. So what am I excited about? What are the three things that I'm excited about? Well, number one, I'm excited that we have over 30 startup founders that have signed up for a live training that I am running next week. So here on the page is a little preview of where you can register, and I'm going to put a link to the place where you can sign up to save your spot if you're a B2B startup founder and you're looking to scale sales. Sound familiar? What we're going to do in this live training is talk about and look at the repeatable, scalable sales process that you've got to put together in order to get that scalable sales that you're looking for. So you can see we're running it next Thursday, and I'm stoked that we've got 30 plus founders and we've got a few spots left. So of course I'm excited about that. Okay, commercial done. What's the second thing I'm excited about? Well, the second thing that I'm excited about is that my son is starting back to school next week. And that's pretty exciting for me. I'm going to get this page out of the way here. My son is starting back to in-person school, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm excited for him because, it is now middle of April. We've been doing the distance learning thing for a year. And man, it's been rough for him, and he's also been awesome. He's been super through this, and we had especially a rough patch, obviously going into the spring last year when everybody's just trying to figure out what the heck's going on in the world. That was a really tough transition. Then this fall, when we knew we were starting distance only, the first couple of months were pretty tough, just trying to get used to any kind of routine. And really, since November, he's done a great job just dialing it in, getting clear on, like, he knows he has certain responsibilities every single day, and we've gotten a nice routine. I've been able to take time with him every single morning, blocking that out in my calendar to get him breakfast, get him going, help him with his homework. It sounds like, yeah, you probably should do those things, but it's also really easy to get distracted when you're also working from home. I think a lot of you can identify with this because the computer is open right over there. You see emails coming in, or you see Slack messages popping up, and it's easy to get distracted and say, well, get him breakfast and then get off to school. And we've been able to get a nice routine where I'm just basically working with him to get rolling to school. Everything from open up Zoom. Here's some apples that we've cut up in the morning to eat as a snack, and he's staying focused. He's getting stuff done, and so I'm just really proud of him for working through this. And now he's getting the reward of being able to go back to school, and he's stoked for that. And I'm really excited. I'm excited for him. So that's the second thing I'm excited about. The third thing I'm excited about personally is that I am running a 50K Ultra tomorrow. Tomorrow in, I don't know, T-minus 18 hours or less. I'll be starting the towing the line at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. It's the first race that I've been able to do since the Terra Wera 100 back in early February of 2020. So stoked that I get to get out on the trail. I've been training really hard since January 4th is when I really kicked off this year's training for the Western States 100 that I'm doing at the end of June. And so this race, this 50K, is called the Formidable. I'm really excited about it because I get to get out back on the trail first and foremost. Here's the race website. It's called the Formidable because there are 4 kind of major climbs in the race. So there's 4 kind of big climbs and then some downhills and some flats and stuff like that. And so I know these trails really well. I've been out there training, and I'm excited because it's a good midway point in my training program from January through June. I've been working with a coach since early February, a guy named Jeff Browning, and he's got me dialed in working on things that I never would have thought to work on. And now I get to go test myself on the same course that I did in 2019. So I'll be able to benchmark how am I doing now versus 2 years ago. And I think I can chop, my goal is to chop 28 minutes off of my 2019 time. I did this race in about 6 hours and 12 minutes. I think it was 6:12 and change. First time I think I can get down to 5:45. And so, regardless, I'm just stoked to be out there on the trail. I mean, you can do trail running on your own anytime you want. It's just something about a race. It's the whole mindset for this past week. Dialing in my diet, packing up my stuff this morning, got everything laid out, got my checklist. The excitement of knowing, like, okay, here's a test of how you're doing. I think that's it's important for all of us. You can do the thing every day, but it's really that benchmark opportunity that I'm excited about. And then I'm also excited because once the race is over, I get to chill out for a couple of days and taper. I might even treat myself to a beer or a piece of pizza tomorrow night, which has been few and far between recently. So totally excited about those three things. So excited about the CEOs that are going to be joining us, the B2B startup CEOs next week. Excited about my son going to school. Excited about this 50K that I get to do tomorrow. So next, I want to talk about two people that, if you don't know these people, you need to be following these people. So one of the people that you absolutely need to follow is Amy Volas. Amy is the founder and CEO of Avenue Talent Partners. I've gotten to know Amy a little bit over the last, 6 months or so. I think we first met, I've seen her stuff on LinkedIn for a couple of years. Really paid attention last year when she co-founded Thursday Night Sales at the height of the lockdown, when things just started, when the old proverbial crap hit the fan. She and Scott Leese kicked off this Thursday Night Sales movement. And since then, they've been running this every Thursday. And it's a virtual happy hour that has really just become a community in itself. And so I've been following her, and then we spoke last year. And then this past week, we had her on the podcast as an interview. So the episode's coming out in a couple of weeks. And just want to let you know that if you haven't followed Amy's stuff, make sure you follow her over on LinkedIn, because she is pumping out really great content. She's one of those people that just gives and gives and gives to the sales community. She really cares about you and your success. So make sure you follow her. The second person that you should follow, if you're not following, is Gabrielle Blackwell. So she's the host of the SDR Hotline. She is also the SDR sales development manager over at Gong. And she is also the co-founder, the creator of Women in Sales, which is a group that she started in Clubhouse, co-created. And so Gabrielle, somebody else that I've gotten to know over the last year or so. And that's my Zoom. I want to see that. I lost my link. There we go. So this is Gabrielle on LinkedIn. And, one of the things that really, I got in touch with Gabrielle because I've been reading her posts, and I really appreciate how open she is about, mindset and helping you overcome your personal and professional barriers that might be in front of you. I think she's a great example of somebody who just, focuses on where she wants to go and is also helping people along the way. So another person that I absolutely recommend that you follow if you haven't followed her already. So those are the two people I think you should follow, Amy and Gabrielle. Okay, so one last thing that I promised you is a sales tip. This is probably what you've been waiting for, maybe not. So the sales tip I want to talk about is a sales tip that if you do this, and you have to do this consistently. Now, I did a couple of LinkedIn videos earlier this week about consistency, the importance of consistency and how to be consistent. So you got to do this every single day, and you got to do it every day for a month. And if you do this every single day for a month, I am 100% sure that you will increase your MRR by at least 10K in the next 30 days. And so what I want to show you is part of what is called the Logar Sales Activity Tracker. So Logar stands for John Logar. John Logar is a friend of mine who kind of taught me this overall tracking sheet. And of all of the things on this tracking sheet, what I really want to focus in on is this bottom right corner. And so there's an acronym that I've adapted from John, which is called LEAPS. 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 And so LEAPS is what you want to track every single day. So starting with your leads contacted, how many contacts have you made each and every day? The second thing that you want to track is how many engagements have you received back from leads you've contacted, and they don't have to necessarily be the contacts you contacted today. Maybe you contacted a lead a day ago or 2 days ago. How many people engaged back with you? The third thing you want to track are appointments booked. How many appointments have you booked in your for your sales funnel? The fourth thing you want to track is presentations. How many sales calls, like real presentations, have you done? Now, presentations is a loose term. It could be a demo. It could be a qualification call. It could be a second demo or technical demo to somebody else that is in a buyer mode or in a buyer's role as you are out there selling to the enterprise. And the last thing you want to track, of course, are your sales. So leads contacted, engagements, appointments, presentation, sales. So I've made this poster for our clients. We ship this out to our clients, and we told them to track this every day. And so you can see this is actually more like a 6-week sprint that you could do. And basically every day, of the weeks, is starting with, if you started this week, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. And then next week you start with the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 16th. And you do that over, a 6-week period. The idea is by tracking this, it's going to get you some real visibility as to are you really doing sales every day, right? And so our goal here, my personal goal on top of the work that our team does every single day, reaching out to people on LinkedIn, sending out emails, following up with people, is I'm always looking to get to 20. I want to get to 20 leads contacted. So a contact could be, sending an email to somebody who's replied back to one of our marketing emails. So if somebody replied to a marketing email with a couple of questions about a webinar that we're running or this training we're teaching next week, and I reply back to that person, that's a lead contacted, right? If I am on LinkedIn and I saw that somebody posted something from their company, and maybe we're first degree connections, but we haven't really chatted before, and I saw something really interesting about that post, and I send them a DM on LinkedIn that says, hey, Sal, I saw that you posted about this or that. This is really interesting. That's, and then ask them a question, and that's a lead contacted. So the lead contacted could be an email, it could be a phone call, right? If I pick up the phone. I've done this before where I've had, company founders that are interested in our program. We had a few chats, things kind of died down for different reasons. And so I just pick up the phone and contact them. Hey, Rebecca, how's it going? This is Scott over at Sales Qualia. Are you still interested in the program? That's a lead contacted. So 20 leads contacted. Like if you do that every day as a company founder on top of what your team is doing, if you have a team, if you don't have a team, you need to be doing your 20. That's the number one thing to track. The second, of course, is then engagements, right? And so depending on the warmness of those leads you're contacting over the course of a day or a couple of days, you might have higher or lower numbers. So I'm just putting numbers in here. So let's say you send out a combination of 20 direct messages plus a couple calls, like maybe a text message or two, and some emails. How many of those people are getting back to you in a day? And then how many appointments have you booked? Maybe, again, it could be an intro call. It could be a product demo if you're doing a SaaS product. It could be following up with somebody you did a demo to last week, and they said, look, I really want to get Bill and Todd and Jane over on these other departments to see the demo as well, and you call that person back, and then they help you book that second demo. That's an appointment as well, right? Maybe it's following up with somebody on reviewing a proposal that you sent out. That counts as an appointment. Finally, is how many, or the second to last thing is presentations, and again, this is how many actual sales calls did you do? Not outbound calls. I cold called somebody and I talked to them for 2 minutes. Presentations means we had a substantial conversation. Okay, you might have just talked about your solution. You might have shown your solution. You might have done a full demo. You might have followed up on and gone through a proposal with somebody. That counts as a presentation. And then finally, how many customers, new sales did you contract that day? And if you do this every single day, then it will become evident to you what you need to be doing. And it all starts up here with committing to do your 20 every single day. And if you can't do 20, commit to 10. But if you start there, and even if you're doing 10 a day for a week, that's 50 in a week, right? And so imagine if you do 20 a day, that's 200. That's 100 in a week, right? And a lot of times, some days you can do 30. If you're jamming on LinkedIn for a couple of hours, you're sending some DMs, you're following up with people, you can book some meetings, book some appointments, book some presentations, follow up with people. It's really about getting into a flow and getting into a rhythm. And so this is why it's such an important sales tactic that I want to share with you, because if you do this every single day, if you're tracking your leaps, your leads contacted, your engagements, your appointments, your presentations, and your sales, then I am 100% sure that through that sales activity over the course of 4 weeks, or at worst case 6 weeks, you will see a bump in your MRR of at least 10K. So that's it. That's my 3, 2, 1 for going into the weekend. 3 things I'm excited about. 2 people I think you should follow. 1 tactical sales tip. Again, like I said at the top of this video, we do have a couple spots left in next week's sales training. So if you're a B2B startup founder and you need to or want to scale sales, looking to build a more repeatable, scalable sales process, then this webinar is absolutely for you. So make sure you check out the comments down below. Grab one of the seats that we have left, and once you click and save your spot, then our team will go into motion, send you a confirmation email. We'll send you a workbook that we're going to be using as part of the sales training. You'll also have an opportunity to book in a 15-minute private session with me, a 15-minute call that we call a situation session, where I'm going to help you analyze what's going on with your sales process for your company. So not only am I going to teach you this live training, but then you're also going to have this one-on-one session available to you as well. All that stuff is free. It's just my way to give back, and frankly and selfishly, and of course, I know that of some of the people that come to the webinar, some of the people that book that session, and they can see where their gaps are and how we might be able to help them out, they might be interested in learning more about how we can coach them. And so, yeah, I'm giving back tons of value, and some of it's for us too. This is the way you run your sales funnel. So full transparency. All right, that's it for now. 3, 2, 1 is out. Have a great weekend. Scott Sambucci, Chief Sales Geek at Sales Qualia, signing off. Go farther.